Hey guys, welcome back to Build Own Moto. Today we're working on this 93 Honda XR250R. It's got a little bit of stuff to take care of. It's Caleb's bike, as you've seen it before many times. We want to take care of the sprockets front and back. We want to look into wheel bearings. We want to check out the filter. We want to do some bar risers for him for a little bit more comfort, and a couple other things. So we got some parts, probably even some exhaust gaskets. So we'll see from there in a minute. But let's get right into it. Thanks for joining us today. So what we've got so far today, he did get a gasket kit for the top end, and we're probably not going to get into the top end today. We'll probably check the compression later, but we need these for the exhaust gaskets. He did pick up some seals for his forks, some rear wheel bearings, some rear sprocket, front sprocket, bar risers, got a new kickstart, and we broke it. We might look into see if we can put the stock headlight on. Let's be honest, I think me and Caleb both like the stock headlight better. So we'll go from there, and then an hour meter to kind of help him track it because he doesn't have one on there. He also has a chain guide here. So got on my bolts kit, some filter oil. We're going to get right into it. We got to get this bike running and ready for next summer. Also, rear brake because we broke the last one. All right, so step one we're going to kind of look at here. We've got to take the rear axle apart, take the tire off. Helps if I get it in the right angle here. Sometimes I'll just give it a little love tap. It's easier. And yes, we will torque it back down to what it belongs. Shout out to Caleb being here helping out with all the filming today. All right, I need a tool shed or tool spot. We're set all this right here. It's nice and evenly. Next. Normally I like to use a castle nut, but if I'm using a rubber mallet, I'll just tap her. So it's not going to hurt those threads at all. I'll take a little some here. That's kind of cool. I've never dealt with that. Yours just pulls right out. You don't even have to take your axle out. Learn something new every day, guys. Now normally this wouldn't come off of here like this. You normally wouldn't have this off, but because we have to fix the brakes, that's next on the agenda. We're going to set that guy right there for a moment, and this guy over here for a second. So I think, Caleb, let's tear into your brakes first. Go ahead and get some tools. Looks like I might need a 12 or a 15 there. This guy's already broken off. Have to break him loose, just right here. So we're going to take him with us and get this part. Over here. Yeah, my tools are pretty far away today, but we started a new project, as you can see, and it's going to keep us occupied. All right, we'll take this right here. Put in the vise for a minute. Also, sorry about all the audio with the annoying heater in the corner, but I don't like freezing. And I don't think Caleb likes freezing, so much easier not to freeze. Can't break her loose here. Oh, there we go. Very nice. That came off pretty easy. Off of here. Go. Here's your old braid that broke. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Take this off of here. I'll probably end up filling your caliper with fluid. We'll check that. Another thing you need to look into getting into is some brakes, Caleb.
Yeah.
After that day it locked up, it got warm enough to warp your brake pads.
Hold on.
Did you get some?
They might be in my car. Hold on. Turn around, look.
All right. So he's going to go look for some brakes real quick, see if he's got some. We're going to hang on to this washer. It's very important that you have these crush washers. I have backups if Caleb doesn't. But if you notice, make sure that you're on here. There we go. There's two washers on both sides of that. That is how you seal it up. Without these washers, you're not really able to get a good seal because then it's just metal to metal. So make sure you always have those. So we're going to move on from this for a moment. We're going to go break loose the other side here. And of course, I should have gotten a shallow here, but it's fine. making it work here. Again, see the two washers? One's going to come off the top, one's going to come off the bottom there. Make sure you have both of those washers. Very important, both washers. Alright, next we're going to cut this guy loose and remove him. Be smart with your knives. If you have tools, every tool can hurt you if you're not careful. Managed to bust knuckles on ratchet straps. There we go. We pulled out that brake line. Let's go ahead and compare it to the other one. Bring that with us. Come on over here. Look at that. He's got his camera sitting right there. Let's check the new one out here. New one in comparison to old one. We can make that work. Looks like it's a little different, but not crazy. And you can kind of rotate these as you put them on. So we're probably going to connect this to the front reservoir and then the rear. So we're going to reuse these bolts. I think it's called a banjo bolt, but I can't remember the full name of it. We'll go from there. No luck on the brakes. That's all right.
I know I have some.
All right, let's go ahead. And we'll start with this guy going in. Here she goes. Temporarily tight. We might be able to manipulate that. That might work. Might be able to make it work, Caleb. Might be able to make it work. We'll see. So we'll pause there on the rear brake. Let's move to the rear axle. See if we can't get this sprocket changed out. All right. Pull the rear axle out. I'm going to put all these parts back on there. Got it. We'll clean that and make sure we grease it in a minute. But we're going to come over here. Let's see. First, I want to make sure that his sprocket fits. Six as well. Now this is a 48 tooth, this is a 48 tooth. Good job, Caleb. Got all the parts he needs there. It'll be better if I do this. Make sure I get you angled here. We'll cut her open here. Remember, we talked about this earlier. Cut away from our body. Okay. About to smoke myself in the face with it. It happens. I've had it where I ordered these and they were the wrong bolt pattern, so always check that. Now, you can kind of see here, Caleb, gonna come zoom in. See the difference in the tooth there? How warped out that one is and pointy. Now this one has a little bit less of a point to it. You kind of notice it's also not this round anymore because it's pulling against the front tooth and hitting this back tooth. So, this is a good sign of, hey, we need to get a new sprocket on here, otherwise we're going to start throwing it. I've seen people even start losing studs because they went too far. So, good catch, Caleb. We're going to get this swapped out here. Looks like everything should line up, pop right back into place. We'll check your front sprocket here in a minute, and we'll go from there. All right, so a couple tools that you'll need here. Looks like his is a 14 on the bottom. He's also got a, it looks like an HW on top, HW6. I like to have a rubber mallet or something similar to it. And then on top of that, some thread lock. You never want to not have thread lock, especially when it comes to this. This comes off, it could really eat your swing arm and could create some big issues. So I'm going to set my tools here. See if we can't break these loose or not. I wish I had a thinner or a closer handle here. See if we can knock them loose in the rear. So it'll be tight and loosen toward me. Break them loose in the backside. Oh, that's the one. So That's going to be the easy one here. Fairly newish studs. Studs are pretty clean. Look at that. Make sure I got the right wrench here. Oh yeah, she's right. So I'll put that on there. I like to put the bolts back with the nut so I don't lose them. So I'll put them together, set them down there with the rest of them. Let's move to the next one. Oh, come on, girl. All right, so we're gonna get some heat. This will be side here, if you want to get a good view of that, if you can. Kind of just warming up the nut. And since it's not like an acetylene or anything crazy, it's just warming it. I'd have to be here for a while with a propane torch to get this sucker red hot. We're not going for red hot. All the condensation coming off these is pretty crazy too. Warm up this guy up here. You can see that water. We're not quite hot yet, but we're going to try and break this sucker loose. Wish I was closer to it. That's the only thing with this. This is the only one I have. What did we lose? Probably a washer. Find that in a minute. On there. I can't tell if we're stripping her if she's loose.
Oh, I think so.
So she's on there pretty stinking good. They're still stripping?
I think so, yeah.
All right, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, you're cooking.
All right, guys, time out. We're going to come back to this with another angle. All right, so one thing I've got here, we cannot get these bolts out. They are stripped out. They are so tight, none of my wrenches matter if I did 8 or 6 or not taking them out. I did heat, not taking them out. Since we're not saving the sprocket, we're just going to cut down as far as we need to get these knocked through. And we'll go from there. I'm going to be careful not to hit right here. And we'll go from there. One thing, I don't have a pair of safety glasses. It's very important that you wear safety glasses. So I've got some sunglasses on and some hearing protection because of where we are. So let's go ahead and we'll run it. pretty hot. So now we just repeat the process 4 more times. See you guys in a second. 20 minutes of grinding, maybe 30. My ears are burning, but I know there was better ways to probably get that off of here than what we did. If you got a better way, shoot it in the comments. But for now, this did the trick. Didn't harm the hub. A couple nicks, but everything's good to go. I can knock all these through. Yes, I know screwdrivers are not punches, but in this case, they do the trick just fine. Woo! That one shot out halfway across the garage. I'd say that's a win. This guy will pop right on here. Bada bing, bada boom. As soon as we order up those bolts, which Caleb got on the way already, I believe, we've got it. So hey, we at least got his sprocket off. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt. Let's see if we can't get that front sprocket swapped out. We're gonna remove his chain. He's gonna order a new chain for this year. One thing that I kind of explained to Caleb is chains are kind of important. You lose this chain, we have some issues. It could go into your case here. It could shoot into this casing. It could really cut it up. Then you got an oil leak. It could create problems. Now, a Honda XR isn't going to be going like crazy speeds, but they have enough gearing to be on the road. So, it's just something to be aware of when you're taking care of your bike. Your chain is very important. Don't cheap out on your chain. So we're going to remove our master link here. Oh yeah, see how that master link's all loose?
Yeah.
That comes off and you're toast. Come on, baby. Just a little bit of a pain in the butt. I've stabbed myself many times doing this. Yep. Just like that, eh? So, one thing with a master link, if you put it this way, remember it's going around that way, and so it'll catch debris at the bottom and take it off. I've actually lost a chain because of that, so you always want to make sure that you have this end forward when you put a chain on. We're going to split this, we'll drop that right there. Put this guy here. It's been on there for a little bit. Come on, girl. Might have to get a bigger one here. Good news is yours is seized. It wasn't going to come off. So now that we have the audio rolling, you'll hear a difference here in audio for a minute. But we cut the chain off because, well, yeah, we did. So yeah, that chain's a little old now. Can't really get the master link off of it. Now our next point is we want to get in here and we want to take off that sprocket. So we're up in here. Get you guys a good view here. Make sure you can see it there from my POV. This dude off. That guy off. This dude off. Chain guard coming off. Yeah, it's the first time we haven't had to cut off this bike today. Me and Caleb were both kind of dreading the day that we had to work on this bike. And let's be honest, were we not?
Wait, what?
We were kind of dreading the day that we'd have to work on this bike.
A little bit.
I had an idea that it was not going to be fun. Now, I don't know if this one's going to just come off because she's neutral, but if I put it in gear... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That actually came off like a beaut. So I believe on these ones you have to like rotate this, and then it comes off. You spin that, find the groove, take the groove off, and this guy comes off. So there's like a spline here. Where get in there with that shock hill, there's a spline there. So it's got like a little bushing there, a spline, and then this kind of goes over it. And it rotates, and it locks in and screws into the gear, and that's what holds it. But again, if we look at this gear, see how it's rotated? It would have been going this direction. And see how its tooth looks like it's arced forward? That's telling you it's kind of getting wore out, so we're going to have to replace that dude. So, alright, let's go grab the next one. We'll walk over here. Walk over here now.
Jeez. Big difference there.
Oh, yeah.
See it side by side.
Yeah, wait till you see this sucker's difference.
It'll be this one on video, I'd say.
Oh yeah, these ones here. There's a big difference when it comes to parts like this, so it's important to take care of this because I don't like being stranded in the woods, and I know Caleb doesn't either. So, see how different, how wore out that is? That's the same similar sprocket. Let's see, let's look at teeth. So if you look at it, there's always a marking, 13 tooth. This one has, I gotta look at it myself. It's a sun star, I can see that. Can't find a marking, but you can always count it. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 12 tooth, we're going to a 13 tooth. It might change a little bit. Was this stock when you ordered it? So if this was stock, we'll look at that. If anybody knows what the stock is for these, let us know. But this is an easy thing to change out if Caleb isn't happy with the change of it. So I did actually take my KTM 1 tooth up as well, and it gave me a little more low end torque. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and we'll walk over and put that on. So get these guys on here. Find the spline. Go. There she goes. Look at that. Fits like a glove. Next we take this dude, find the spline, and we rotate it once it's on there. Actually, I'm rotating it the wrong way, but we can continue to rotate this around. It's not a big deal. Come on, baby. Rotate, line the lines up. Now, there's some Loctite. I don't do a lot of Loctite. Some people prefer putting them on the bolt. Some put it on threads, but I like to just put a little bit on there. And we'll start that by hand. We'll start with this. We're just going to kind of tap. Okay, so it's saying about 50 to 60 foot-pound or inch-pound, so we'll get it on here. Get it set. 2 taps. Torque wrench is 2 taps. Click, click. And then once again, same thing. Click, click. That's all you need. You don't need to go much further than that, or any further than that at all, actually. Now, another thing while we're here, we might as well change out is the chain guide here. See how eaten up this guy is? Caleb's helping me out because I'm not paying attention to my camera, but this dude is eaten up, so we could probably just break him off. Pull him out of here. But we got to work on getting those out next. So, as soon as he's out of here, might have been easier to do this without the sprocket. But you know what? Commitment's commitment. Working on it. Working on it. You got a new one here. Oh, watch. No, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What is it? You say it's an eBay special? We're just going to break the old one because it's already breaking. Knife, cut away, cut away, cut away. So notice how it cut away from me. This guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. Now there's 2 bolts, one down here, one up here. I will say the worst thing ever to deal with is steel bolts and aluminum swing arm. Biggest pain in the butt. So we're probably gonna have another pain in our butt here. But let's see if we can't get these off. Sometimes these are the biggest pain in the butt in the world. However, as I was checking this off camera because I was preparing for the worst, they come right out. It's a miracle. I've never really had that easy of a job getting these out of here, but I'm willing to bet someone's been in here working on it. So we're going to set this aside right here, not lose it. We're going to get that other one. Can't really get you an angle of this one. Caleb will have to help me with the other camera. Come on, fingers. There. We're moving it. There we go. There's the other one. So we got a bottom and we got a top. New part here. Take her out of the bag, fresh bag. Now, yeah, I probably should have put this on before that in hindsight, but where there's a will, there's a way. Now, that'll bolt right up. So we're going to start with that top one, just get it in place. Let's see here. Back here. Stick that right there. In. Make sure these are somewhat snugged up, but not crazy. It is rubber, so you don't want to over tighten it. That'll be plenty there. New chain guide is installed. Now, I did notice one more thing I missed up front here. Caleb, before I come to the front, I'll show you. Well, I don't know if that goes there. See how that little notch We'll kind of line it all up. So I'm gonna take this top bolt out. So this dude. So that lines all the chain up. That gets everything proper. So there's a little notch right there. Sometimes I have to restudy things a few times, and you learn new things every week, but that little notch is important because it lines up your chain, which is going to go right through the center of this, up over top your sprocket. Get this guy back in. I see you got a new shifter.
Yes, sir.
There you go, new shifter. We bent that one up in Everett, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
That one was bent up. So, swapped out the chain guide. Bam. Getting some new parts, Caleb. He's just going to be running mid by the next summer. It's looking like we got to get his water bottle off of here. Take off this buster, or I don't even know what you call those, but I know it helps your face not bust when you hit stuff. And that looks like a 12. So we'll start with that. We don't really need to take the hand guards off. They're just going to raise it up. Let's start with taking off this Moose Racing. Get these off. This one. Dropping bolts, guys. Don't worry though. I didn't lose it. I have it. This guy off. Make sure I'm in focus on the camera here. All right. Now, some things to watch out for when you're working with this. Obviously, you want to make sure you're not extending your throttle tube too far. There's some stuff here that might hinder us from doing what we want to do. We need to look into here. Check this guy out here. Like for instance, this brake line. He might have to be relocated up front because it's hindering us from going up at all. But let's see. We'll give it a shot and we'll see from there. We're hanging on to these because we're still using these. However, these bolts are being replaced with some longer bolts. Got a new bolt kit here. Swap those out. I got to find the Allen keys for these. So we're going to find the Allen key for what we need, and then we'll move forward. That makes more sense to me, but everything's out of the way. See how it's not getting pinched anymore? It's got a clear line of movement. It's nice and free there. Making sure that our clutch lever's free. Go, tis. Everything's free. So we can go ahead and move on to the front now. All right, so Caleb's gonna kind of feel out. What you wanna look for here is how far we wanna rotate these bars forward or backwards. And it depends on the rider. We can adjust these as you get in the woods. I will tell you, Caleb, it's probably gonna be something you're gonna do in the woods. So we'll take something with us.
Right.
But we'll adjust it. But as you can see, we already put those bar risers in there. It's a little higher. We adjusted this. So how does that feel overall right now?
I'm feeling like I want them more forward at this point. Like I would rather be almost here, right?
Maybe. It depends. Let's get it out in the woods, and this is where we would rotate like your levers down or other things forward.
Yeah.
To allow it to adjust. So, and that's all going to be feel. So we're probably going to make it. We probably have you come back here in the summertime.
Sure.
Or when we can ride, and we'll test it out after we get those rear sprocket bolts and stuff.
Man, I miss this already.
Miss riding already?
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining this week. We're working on Caleb's bike. We've got more to do, as you can see. We got as far as we can. We still have to replace the front exhaust gaskets, get his rear sprocket on, get his chain in, make sure we get his brake on there properly. So there's still more to do, but we'll get his front headlight working next time and all those rest of those things. So for now, if you enjoy what you're watching, please like and subscribe, you guys. It's been a lot of fun working with these, and people that are commenting, you know, giving me advice. Like I had a mess up with one of my bikes over there that will show you where I didn't know there's supposed to be oil in the stator on a 4-stroke. New thing to me. But I did learn one more thing that I'll share with you guys about that in the future. So stay tuned for another video coming out with that KTM. But for now, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.